you're gonna have to do something, or else you're gonna get from somebody else. Looking for you. You're not gonna
Yeah, she said grandma was lovely. She was
Once again, for all those that are in the audience, we had a public hearing at 9:30, so we extended our court time to approximately 10:05 for anybody to sign in for public citizen comment on the beginning of the agenda and all agenda items. And I think we are almost wrapping that up. We will start soon, but thank you for your patience. Good morning. It is now 10:06. The Brazos County Commissioners Court will come to order. Today's pledge and prayer will be led by Commissioner Conklin.
Lord, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to save us. Thank you for all those that keep us safe, for our military men and women, for all of our first responders. God, we ask your wisdom on this court and everyone here, that we work as a county to do the best work that we can for a changing and challenging time. Some things we can control and some we can't. We ask for wisdom in navigating those. We also ask for that same wisdom over our state, our country, and our world. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Well, good morning, and thank you once again for your patience as we adjusted after the public hearing this morning at 9:30. Number 2 on the agenda is call for citizens' input. The court now calls Eric Caldwell. Mr. Caldwell, please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Eric Caldwell. I live in Precinct 1. I'm actually here to speak to you as the Chief Information Officer for Brazos County this morning. Back on August 11, during a capital improvements budget workshop, risk management came up and presented 2 different variations of a capital improvements project request concerning cameras in the parking garage. Their intention, of course, with those projects was to address and mitigate the risks that the county now faces by managing that parking garage. And they had hoped to do something with those cameras in there so that they would have something more to use if litigation were to occur, things of that nature. In any case, during that workshop, we were asked if we had looked at wireless cameras, and we discussed that a little bit. I wanted to come and report to you this morning that we over in IT are still looking at those cameras, or at wireless as a possibility. Specifically, we were told that Ring, Nest, Ubiquity, home style type camera systems was something that we should look at. And then it was also mentioned maybe the Flock automated license plate reader cameras would be an option. So we are looking at Flock and the home camera type systems, as well as another vendor's offering outfit by the name of Eco Parking. And then we're also looking at a true commercial grade wireless system. However, I don't have anything to report to you this morning because we are still working on that report. We still don't have a quote from our local vendor that we really believe would be the more appropriate wireless camera solution. They are kind of dragging their feet because they knew right out of the gate that it was going to be exorbitantly expensive. They knew that they would be exerting effort to put this quote together that would never be awarded. We are still hounding them. We are still hoping that they will come through with that quote. In the meantime, I have asked my staff to compare and contrast those 4 systems alongside the original design that we provided for risk management to produce their capital improvements project request. And I've asked them to compare and contrast those on a number of different qualities: data transfer rates, durability, power sources, whether it be solar or battery, or BT utility power, communications options, whether it be Wi-Fi or cellular, image and video storage capacity, storage duration, how long can we hang on to the video and images as those systems might capture, what kind of management tools can be used in managing those systems, be it a cell phone app, be it a video management system like our Hexagon Cognify app, whether or not they will or could be used in our real-time crime center. All of the cameras that we have in the county are monitored in the real-time crime center over in the SO, as well as cameras from local businesses and other places. And so we would really like to make sure that any solution that we choose. Oh, I'm out of time. Finally, of course, the cost of the solution and any conduit and cabling that might be required.
Mr. Caldwell, thank you so much. The court now calls Chris Barnes. Chris, Mr. Barnes, please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Chris Barnes, Precinct 2. Strangely, I don't have notes up here with me this morning because I think this is a quick thing, I hope.
Thank you for the handout.
I did give each of y'all a handout. Earlier this week, or last week, I was looking at the Brazos County website, looking at the precinct maps, trying to find exactly where the divisions were, and it was really hard to read and to determine things, and I noticed some things I found really odd. I circled the one circle that happens to be pretty close to my house. Basically, and I'm going to back up a minute, I believe the precinct lines were drawn before anybody on the current court was here, so I don't think y'all had anything to do with the current lines. So y'all are not to blame for it. At least I believe you're not. Anyway, in light of the state redrawing some district or some precinct lines or district house lines, I think it's something that we probably could and should take a look at. It seems pretty obvious to me that the way the precinct lines were drawn were pretty badly gerrymandered, especially when you have a little block out of the middle of Precinct 2 that belongs to Precinct 4. I think that can be cleaned up and make it so that it's not so obviously bad. That's something I'm going to ask the court to look into. Hopefully it's something you can do before the primary elections next March. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Anyway, thank you.
Mr. Barnes, thank you so much. The court now calls Kathy Viens. Welcome, and state the precinct that you reside in.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Kathy Viens, Precinct 4. I don't have notes either, but I may not be as brief because I can get long-winded. I thought it was interesting, by the way, that Mr. Caldwell is talking about the cost of the camera system to the garage, because back in January, when the proposition of the county taking over the parking garage again, I asked about what the anticipated costs and maintenance would be, and I was told by this court that they didn't know. So it's interesting, we're coming up with money plans and so forth, which are needed, but we didn't do any of that investigation ahead of time, according to that court session. Today I'm inspired to speak because on a public platform, social media platform, which incidentally I don't know if that falls under the Open Meetings Act or not for the commissioners, but it was brought to my attention that a comment was made that reflects to me that I've not made my position here at the podium clear. I've always asked for transparency and for clear communications, and so many times I've asked, if I ask a question about an agenda item and you all are doing your jobs, reading and investigating that agenda item, that you should be able to answer my question. But the policy has always been to ask a county employee to come up and testify as a witness, which, true or not, makes me infer that you don't know what you're voting on. Because if you are actually investigating and you have the answers to my questions, it should be easy for you to answer those things. And as a constituent, as a voter, a citizen in the county, I want to know that you're doing your jobs. And so I would ask that when we ask a question on an agenda item, that you don't ask for witnesses, you answer the question to reflect what your understanding is, because that's, to me, the indication of transparency. I, as a voter, want to know that you understand what that agenda item is, that you've looked into it, that you have all the questions answered that you've asked in your mind, and therefore you should have the answers to my questions. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mrs. Viens. The court now calls Cindy Wiley. Ms. Wiley, please state your name and the precinct that you reside in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Cynthia Wiley, Precinct 1.
What's your name?
When I was doing research on our rules of decorum, I came across some interesting information. The Commissioners Court was originally set up so that you had an opportunity to interact with your department heads, and the citizens were allowed to observe. And then eventually citizens got the right to speak. So a natural transgression or a natural transition. Citizen participation, I'm sure you're all aware, is very ramped up from what it used to be. Prior to January 1st, before 2 new commissioners came on board, we encouraged our representatives to share their thoughts and opinions on their decision-making regarding agenda items. The simple reason, how can we know what you're thinking? How can we learn to trust you? If you're to represent us, we need to know how your decisions align with those constituents in order to know, simply put, if we want to vote for you again. Wouldn't it be great if every person that signed up for an agenda item, when the agenda item came up to talk, we said, no, thank you, we're good, questions answered. Last meeting, I personally thanked our judge for allowing an engaging conversation. So again, I want to publicly thank you for that. The more the citizens understand the decisions this court makes, it brings transparency and accountability. It's better for the people to understand why you voted the way you did than to assume you're just a typical politician serving a different group. One of you is clearly leading regarding transparency and frugality, and the people are pleased. Open Meetings Act, we understand you're restricted. Sharing your rationale for why you advocate for this county or precinct is fundamental to how you are valued as a worthy future candidate. So far, I compliment those of you who do speak up on agenda items and share your thoughts. Not only may you have questions, but you have the heart of a teacher and ask questions so the people are given an opportunity to understand. For that, I say thank you to Commissioner Brown and anticipate a thank you to the rest of you to share in a conversation amongst yourselves so that we can gain knowledge about the business of the place we call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wiley. The court now calls Carl Mooney. Mr. Mooney, please state your name and the precinct that you reside in.
My name is Carl Mooney. I live in Precinct 1. Good morning, Commissioners, Judge, and staff. I come before you today not as a former mayor of College Station, but actually as the presiding officer for the RMA. First, I want to apologize for not being here when you were reviewing the budget. And I also want to share with you that the only item on the RMA budget is one of those unfunded mandates from the state. The RMA has to do an audit every single year.
Mr. Mooney, will you bring the microphone up closer?
Okay,
Thank you so much.
All right. The unfunded mandate from the state is that the RMA has to do an audit of its budget. And that's the only thing on our budget right now. The RMA, as you may know, was not keeping up to date with things that were supposed to be done. In fact, the 2024 report is about to be reviewed by the now RMA board. I was appointed by the governor in May to become the presiding officer. And taking over that, the first thing we did was get working on the things that had been neglected over some time. We've had our first meeting. We are now scheduled for meetings all the way through most of 2026. So we will be meeting here in the Commissioner's Court on the first Friday of several of those months on a quarterly basis. I'm excited about it. I think the RMA can do a number of things. In particular, the RMA becomes another avenue for citizens to approach folks who have some understanding. We have 2 former mayors on the RMA board right now. We have a member who is now retired from the Texas Transportation Institute. And so with those people in mind, they're great folks to be able to come to and talk about what's going on in their cities, in the county, and the Brazos Valley at large. I've always thought, particularly while I was in planning and zoning for the city of College Station and then as a council member and mayor, that we need to pay attention not only to what's going on here, but what's going on outside our area, because it will impact us. As an example, Freeport is soon to become the primary produce port for the Gulf Coast. That means that 36A will be expanded. There will be more truck traffic. That will eventually connect to 6, which will come right through us. Thank goodness we're beginning work on Highway 6 and being able to separate local traffic from traffic that's simply trying to pass through. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what we can do to encourage facilities at Easterwood Airport. Also working with Union Pacific, which you may know has now asked that it be able to triple track through the area. That will create a number of hassles for us with regards of transportation. And anyone who had to sit like I did the other day while a Union Pacific train blocked Rock Prairie Road for over a half hour knows that there's a need for conversation along those lines too. So I'm excited about this opportunity to serve, and I look forward to speaking with you as you come up with issues as well. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Mooney, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, sir.
I do believe this concludes citizens' input on agenda item number 2. Moving to agenda item number 3, presentation and discussions. Presentation and introduction of Antoinette Morris as the new Cooperative Extension Program Extension Agent for 4-H and Youth Development by Chad Caperton, Brazos County Ag and Natural Resource Agent, assisted by Eric Zimmerman, District Extension Administrator, and Dr. Rukia Draw, CEP Program Leader. Mr. Zimmerman, good to see you.
Judge, Commissioners, glad to be here. Eric Zimmerman, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service District Extension Administrator. And of course, we have Ms. Antoinette Morris is with us as well. Dr. Draw could not make it today, but Hendrix Broussard, our program specialist for the Prairie View A&M University Cooperative Extension Program, is in attendance as well to support Ms. Antoinette Morris. It's my pleasure to be here today. Our purpose is to introduce Antoinette as the new extension agent for 4-H with the Prairie View A&M University system. Obviously, I work for Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, with Prairie View being one of our universities within the Texas A&M University system. They have an extension program as well. The odd thing is, the interesting thing is when we began this position in Brazos County, Hendrix was one of those agents that served in that role and did an outstanding job. And then, of course, Prairie View hired him away and promoted him to that program specialist position, correct? And we've had that position vacant, but we've got it filled now with Antoinette. She began about a month and a half ago in Brazos County Extension Office. She's a graduate of Texas A&M University with a Bachelor of Science degree in horticulture, fruit, and vegetable production. The great thing about Antoinette is she's got a lot of experience relative to the extension program, because she served not only as an intern with the Brazos County Extension Office, but also with the Harris County Extension Office. And so we're glad to have her. Obviously, we've got a vacant 4-H position on the AgriLife side that we're moving forward to fill as well. But the nice thing with this position is, one, it's completely funded by Prairie View A&M University, so no cost to Brazos County. And the nice thing also is she's coming into a program that's well established. Currently, it's the 6th largest program in the state of Texas, with 254 counties and a lot of urban counties. They're much larger than Brazos County, as you can see. We've got a very strong program. Our 4-H year technically ends on August 31, and we have a new 4-H year that begins on September 1, so what's what we call a zero enrollment. We had 700 kids in Brazos County in the 4-H program, and so we've charged Antoinette, as well as our future candidate, hopefully for the other 4-H position, to continue to grow that program. And so we're certainly appreciative of your support, and we're looking forward to great things with Antoinette and all of her experience in serving that role. And I'll turn the mic over to Antoinette if y'all have any questions.
Please, Mr. Zimmerman, thank you. Ms. Morris.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I just want to thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to join the team in Brazos County, and I have a real passion for youth and to see them impacted and encouraged, and I am just really excited to join a team that's already doing that, and I look forward to meeting you and working in your precincts, and yeah, thank you.
Well, we're excited to have you. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Morris?
Congratulations. Just congratulations and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Excited. Thank you so much.
Judge, Commissioners, thank y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Judge.
it.
Thank you all so much. Moving to agenda item number 4, approval of proclamation 25-030, proclaiming the month of September as Suicide Awareness Month.
Move for approval?
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. I will now read the proclamation. We are going to change our presentation a little bit. I will read from here so I do not have my back to the audience. Then we'll come down and we will take a picture. Today we have with us Monica, Irene, and Mirka. I did good. So without further ado, on a Suicide Awareness Month 2025, many factors may contribute to a person considering suicide. The Center for Disease Control estimated that in 2023, 12.8 million American adults seriously thought about suicide, 3.7 million planned a suicide attempt, and 1.5 million attempted suicide. Suicide continues to affect innumerable communities across the world, creating a critical need to raise awareness about prevention. According to the World Health Organization, over 720,000 individuals die by suicide annually. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in Texas, and approximately 4,382 Texans die by suicide each year. Suicide attempts and deaths are once again increasing after 2 years of decline from 2019 and 20 CDC. Feelings of hopelessness, isolation, and stigma commonly combine with additional factors and variables to increase the risk of suicide attempts. It is more important than ever to educate people on what factors contribute and lead to suicide attempts and deaths, and encourage people to support one another. Whereas the month of September is National Suicide Prevention Month, effective suicide prevention involves actively connecting and reaching out to individuals who may be struggling. This effort requires educational awareness of warning signs like linking survivors and loved ones to helpful resources, providing guidance on supporting a struggling loved one, and destigmatizing the emotional and psychological challenges often preceding suicidal thoughts or attempts. Whereas Suicide Awareness Month strives to promote suicide prevention resources, reduce social isolation, honor survivors, and remember those lost to suicide. This year's program continues a tradition of partnering with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension to host a 4-week suicide prevention walk challenge designed to reduce stigma and spread hope throughout the Aggie community. Suicide Awareness Month also features both virtual and in-person opportunities, including educational presentations, various mental health program initiatives, and an in-person resource fair event on Wednesday, September 10th at 11 a.m., Rudder Plaza at Texas A&M University. Suicide Awareness Month empowers Texas A&M and surrounding community members to take the first step towards getting well-being together, toward greater well-being together. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the month of September as Suicide Awareness Month, signed by the county judge and the 4 commissioners, August 26, 2025.
Very good.
We will meet at the front of the courtroom for a
Judge, you want us up here or down there? Where would you like?
Barbara, would you like everybody to come down?
Well, honestly, I'm not really sure with this podium here. Oh, no, wait, you can, if you guys stand behind the table, you guys can stay back there. I think we can make it happen. It's a large group. This isn't
Your
gonna
pretty
work.
blue suit in there.
Sure, screwing things up.
I'm gonna get on your back.
Thank you
Good.
all very much. Wilson.
Howdy.
Howdy. Oh, did we forget that, Commissioners?
Howdy, everyone. September is National Suicide Prevention Month. According to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, so AFSP, suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S. However, it's the second leading cause of death among individuals between ages of 10 and 34. So it's basically our students at Texas A&M, the age range. We at Texas A&M would like to proclaim that September is Suicide Awareness Month for the entire Brazos Valley area. This year, like Judge Kyle said, we are going to be hosting a variety of interactive and educational events ranging from the 4-week virtual walk challenge, the resource fair, de-stress activities, impactful presentations, and engaging one-on-one conversations with students. There are some events that are going to be offered to the community. We have our Creating Safer Communities, Restricting Access to Lethal Means presentation. That's going to be Thursday, September 8th at the Memorial Student Center, 1400 from 4 to 5:30. So this presentation focuses on how individuals can protect themselves and their loved ones by creating distance between a person and the items that may make a space unsafe during a crisis. And another presentation that's going to be offered is actually a film, Can't Look Away film showing and panel discussion. This is going to be hosted by the nonprofit organization Fair Play on Thursday, September 18th at Malik Theater within the Bush Presidential Library and Museum, and that's 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. This presentation documentary sheds light on the hidden harms of social media and its devastating impact on young people. And will also provide an update on local, state, and national efforts to help young people. And then lastly, the Turning Impossible to I'm Possible with Josh Rivedal on Wednesday, September 24th at Rudder Theater from 6 to 7:30. This is a powerful and personal talk. Author, speaker, and comedian Josh Rivedal shares his journey through loss, mental health struggles, and resilience with some laughs along the way. The number one common myth about suicide is that talking about suicide increases the chance of a person will act on it. When in actuality, talking about suicide may reduce rather than increase suicidal ideation. It improves mental health related outcomes and the likelihood that a person will seek treatment. This September, remember to check on each other and to check on those you might be concerned about. So, thanks and gig 'em.
Monica, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Commissioners.
Thank y'all for the
you,
work
Monica.
you do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving to agenda item number 5. Consider and vote on the fiscal year 2026 proposed salaries and allowances for elected county and precinct officials. Commissioners, do I have a motion?
Move approval.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
I have a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in,
So I think I have two of the hardest working elected officials in my precinct. Justice of Peace Kenny Elliott and Constable Jeff Reeves. So I'm in favor of this because those guys go out of their way, take care of their constituents.
And I would just say that
Commissioner Watson.
Well, I just think all of our constables and all of our justice of the peace work extremely hard to represent our individual precincts. And so I agree with Commissioner Nettles.
Absolutely.
Same, yes.
Commissioner Collins, Commissioner Brown?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 6, discuss and propose the 2025 tax rate. I will ask Ms. Turner to come up here shortly, but I have a quick statement just to set the stage. In life, with religion, business, and government, you usually have to lean on religion. Seldom do they all align at decision time. Setting a tax rate that is fair, covers our M&O with all the factors, and knowing the unknowns requires a faith in your government and appraisal entity. As of last week, the legislature and the appraisal board were unknown numbers, which made a fiscal responsible tax rate hard to identify. However, we now know that there are still $2 billion of appraisal litigation in our Brazos County Appraisal District, and that the state legislature has moved on House or Senate Bill 10, and we thought there was going to be a decrease from 3.5 to a cap at 2.5, but late last night, around 4:30, the House moved it to 1%. Having received this information late through the special session, we are now able to adopt a rate that is fiscally responsible to help us cover M&O. And I am going to adopt that rate here shortly. Excuse me. We will adopt that rate for discussion for the budget that we will adopt on September 9th. Today, we are going to suggest a rate for the budget. I want to be clear. So the two things we will do in this agenda item will set a rate for adoption on September 9th, and we will set a meeting the morning of September 9th to discuss this rate. So with that, I will first call Ms. Turner up to make sure that we understand the workshops we had last week and how we arrived at these numbers.
Hello,
Good
Marcy
morning.
Turner, First Assistant County Auditor. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Last Wednesday, August 20th, I gave a presentation to the Commissioners Court during budget workshop on ad valorem tax rates. I've attached that presentation to the agenda item for our citizens' reference today. The full presentation can be viewed on the Brazos County YouTube channel, where it is labeled Budget Workshop August 20th, 2025. And I encourage all citizens who weren't present for that workshop to watch that YouTube video to be fully informed and have the same information that you, the court, has. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight just a few items from that presentation. First, that the ad valorem tax revenue is determined by the appraised value and the tax rate. That the Brazos County tax rate is set by you, the Commissioners Court. That the appraised value is set by the Brazos Central Appraisal District. And the Brazos Central Appraisal District is an independent organization that is separate from Brazos County. We discussed last week that prior year value loss through litigation and prior year refunded taxes impact both the no new revenue rate and the voter approval rate. And that this year, Brazos County has had record levels in both of those categories. We discussed the voter approval rate accounts for increased Brazos County expenditures in state unfunded mandates for criminal justice, indigent defense, and indigent health care, and that the no new revenue rate does not account for those. We discussed that the voter approval rate accounts for the county's debt rate, and that the no new revenue rate also does not account for that. The current year tax levy, which is calculated with the adopted tax rate, directly impacts next year's no new revenue rate and next year's voter approval rate. I also pointed out to you that setting a tax rate is more than balancing the budget for this year. A tax rate strategy should also consider the current state legislative climate, setting a tax rate that covers ongoing maintenance and operation expenses of the county, and also considers debt to fund future capital projects. And finally, I presented tax rate options to the court, as well as 4 8-year scenarios and their impact on the county's general fund balance. At this time, I'd like to show, we also brought to the attention of the court the no new revenue rate is 0.387683. The voter approval tax rate is 0.423059. These are per $100 of valuation. And our debt rate is 0.030246. And then I would also like to present the one of the scenarios that was shown last week to the court. That would be our best case scenario, and that is a voter approval rate. It's actually the first screen. There you go. This would be if the court were to adopt the voter approval rate at the 2.5% cap that is currently suggested by the Senate. We now know the House has passed a 1% VAR limit cap. In doing so, with this scenario, 8 years out, with other revenue growing at 2.5% and maintenance and operation expenses growing at 2.5%, this budget is maintenance and operations only, no capital expenses and no one-time charges. We would actually not be able to become net positive with our current budget until 29-30, and we would use $8.4 million of fund balance, general fund balance, to get there.
Ms. Turner, thank you. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Brown.
Marcy, can you dive deeper into how we got into this situation? What happened with the appraisal district in 22 and 23, and how both the county and both cities were put in this position that we really don't want to be in, but it's happening, and then give some real numbers as to how that affected us dollar-wise?
Can I just say thank you for that question?
Sure.
And I wish it was just to 2023.
The presentation I gave last week talked about how appraised values went up 15%. I might get my years wrong, so I think FY22 and 18% in FY23. If we take those 2 years out and go through the last 10 years, our average appraised value increase is about 6%. So we have that piece of information that is to be taken into consideration. In response to that, the amount of appraised value that was under litigation rose exponentially. And last year, I have to go back and look at my numbers. Is it 128 million? 128 million in appraised value came off the tax rolls. And that is about 4 times what we normally have come off the tax rolls in any given year.
Would you explain when you say come off the tax roll, that means if they won their...
So these are mostly...
They appeal their tax...
Yes, these aren't appeals. These are past the appeal process. These are mostly commercial properties that went through appeal and then exercised their right to litigate with the appraisal district for their values. There were a record for I can't go into necessarily the reasons for why there were so many. That would be something that the appraisal district would need to answer the question of.
That is not a part of Brazos County.
Right, that is not a part of Brazos County. But $128 million of valuation was removed from the tax rolls as a result of resolved litigation.
So they won their cases, the flat out bottom line. What'd you say?
They won their cases, or the cases were settled prior to going to court. They settled a record number of cases.
Well, the problem was that the appraisal district raised the values on these commercial properties at a substantial rate. And we're talking about some of these high-rise dorms and such, housing around Bryan College Station. And they raised them substantially, and the owners said, time out, this isn't right. So they litigated it, and they won. The bad thing for the county and the cities is that before they went to litigation, before all this happened, the appraisal districts gives us the numbers of what all the values are in Brazos County. So we work from that, and then we turn around a year later or 2 years later, and now we have to refund all this money back to these different companies or whoever that owns these taxpayers. These taxpayers. So that's how we got to this point. Is that correct?
So I'm looking at this. It looks like it cost the county $1.2 million in tax refunds last year.
Last year, yes, of last year's taxes, of FY24 taxes.
And so we're trying to figure out
yes,
what that might do to next year's, based upon the $2 billion in property still in litigation, correct?
Yes.
Is it 2 billion with a B?
2.1 billion
Okay.
in valuation.
Total value.
Total value.
Total value.
Now, that's
Total
total
value.
valuation.
Yeah.
Usually about 8% of that comes off the rolls.
Okay.
But that affected both the county and both the cities.
And the school
And the school
district.
And the school
districts.
And the school
districts.
districts,
The-
yeah.
What we now refer to as the
Every-
Big Five.
Yeah, everybody's is struggling at this point.
Yeah.
It seems like if you have a valuation, you might as well go down and appeal it because they're just giving money away and overshooting the valuation. Am I getting that wrong?
Well, don't make
That's
her
not
change.
something I can comment
Don't
to.
make her
Right.
comment on
She's
it.
saying, I'm just stating the facts.
Exactly.
Let's bring this back. We have been very clear that the Brazos County Appraisal District does not belong to Brazos County. There
Could
was
you
some
repeat that? I
litigation.
didn't hear that last part.
We didn't do that.
And if you recall the workshop, we also let everybody know for the first time, I will use the Big Five one more time, had the first meeting with the appraisal district to start meeting quarterly, have monthly reports, so this never happens again.
Amen.
We were floored that this did not take place, these meetings. So before we go any further, is there any more questions for Ms. Turner? Because we
Thank-
need to get back on track. And on track, we have one public citizen comment. Then I will open it up to the court for comments. And I will start with Commissioner Nettles, Commissioner Watson, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Condrela. And then I will make a motion for the tax rate, and we will move on the agenda. So at this time, the court calls Kathy Veens on agenda item number 6. Kathy, please state your name and your precinct you live in.
I'm
And
still
welcome.
Kathy Vians, and I'm still in Precinct 4. I'm so glad I signed up. I just wanted to make sure there was dialogue here, and I'm very grateful for the conversation. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But when Ms. Turner was speaking and you were discussing the CAD, I am interested in hearing details about, did you say quarterly meetings and monthly reports? And where will they be held, and will they be open to the public? And that would be very useful for the public to know. And I think you have information about that?
We are treading in new territory, so they will not be open to the public, but we will put reports out as soon as we have them, because that is public information, and this is, like I said, we're charting new territory that should have been done for many years, in
Right.
my opinion.
And I think the
And
public
I
is...
understand your want and need for
Yes.
transparency, as it is our
Thank
want
you.
and need up here as well.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Mrs. Venus. Okay, sticking to the agenda, Commissioner Nettles, any comments on agenda item number 6?
Yeah, I can't express my level of frustration because we have pushed, beat on county departments to shrink their budget so that we had a budget that we could support a very restricted revenue base. But now, with the actions of the state legislature and the appraisal district, all that work seems to be wasted because we can't adopt the rate and be fiscally responsible in order to give taxpayers a break that they deserve. I can't, so the county is doing everything we can, and we have outside forces forcing us to do something we don't want to do. That doesn't make sense to me. And so I hope you'll carry that message to the state, you'll carry it to the appraisal district, because, you know, if our control is to say no to departments, say no, and we get a smaller budget, and now we have absolutely no control, it makes no sense to me. I don't see a solution to this. Well, I do, but it would call firing somebody over at the appraisal district, which we apparently don't have the authority to do.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Watson.
Well, I agree with Commissioner Nettles in that what is happening at the state, it doesn't allow, while we want to be fiscally responsible in how we set our tax rate, the state has now taken that option away from us, and therefore making our job difficult to be fiscally responsible because we don't have any wiggle room to be able to try to effectively be responsive to the residents of Brazos County. And so it's sort of like what Commissioner Nettles said. We thought that we were kind of making a lean budget to be responsive, and it's forcing us to not have any wiggle room. And so I don't know how we're going to be, technically, I guess they've taken the physical responsibility away from us, but we still don't have any wiggle room to be responsible for the operation of the county. And so we're really kind of caught in a vice. And I agree with Commissioner Nettles also, you know, I know that everyone, they do talk to their legislators, but they have taken it to a level that has impacted us severely. And that's why sometimes what they do at the state has a significant impact on local and county government, and that's where we are right now. Both, as I said, local city councils are being severely impacted, and now we at the county can't do what we hope we could do to be responsible with a good outcome when we told you what we thought we were going to be able to do. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Commissioner Brown.
I think the most important thing is for our media to get the actual story out. You know, what the appraisal district did several years ago has affected all five of the entities, and the public needs to know that. These knee-jerk reactions that we're having to make up here isn't because we want to, it's because we have to. But the story needs to be told that the appraisal district and the money that we had to refund to these different businesses is why we're in this position. And the second part is, I think we ought to get rid of we ought to just call it the appraisal district and get Brazos County out of there. So, thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Commissioner Brown. Commissioner Condra.
Beating a dead horse on these comments that the three commissioners have made, I'll just remind everyone about over 50% of the budget is unfunded mandates from Austin.
Yeah.
And Austin is putting rules on counties where counties lose autonomy to take care of their local budgets. The appraisal district, you know, a steady number or a steady expectation of what that might look like each year would help a great deal, but this year it's like the goalpost is being moved, and who is it? Marcy used to hold the ball for Charlie Brown. That's what I feel like.
Commissioner Condra, thank you. Before I make comments and make a motion on agenda item 6, do any of the commissioners want Ms. Turner to come back up? Are we good?
No,
No, I don't
She
need to
did.
shoot the messenger.
Yep. She's the messenger who did an exceedingly wonderful job. I hope you all get a chance to go out and look at the workshop presentation that both she and our budget officer, Nina, last name?
Payne.
Payne, I forgot. Oh my gosh. Anyway, both of those ladies, women rock in budgets. But both of those ladies did a phenomenal job helping us. I mean, they weren't able to ease the pain, but at least they explained to us why we're in pain.
Excellent.
Nina Payne.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. I want to be clear that we will set a tax rate and then establish a date and a time for a public hearing for the tax rate on September 9th. I want to also be clear that this tax rate is a ceiling for us to set today that we can discuss on the 9th. This is not the actual tax rate at this time.
And you can't go up.
And we cannot go up once we set a tax rate. So, with the current legislature being in special session, this bill, Senate Bill 10, amended in the House, sent back to the Senate, we will wait for the Senate's actions to see where we land. This is fiscal responsibility and leadership at its finest. So at this time, I move to propose the 2020, that propose that the 2026 tax rate be at the VAR at 4.23059 for evaluation. I will need a roll. Am I correct, Ms. Payne? What's that?
It's a 2025 tax year.
Wording should be 2025.
Okay, excuse me. I move to propose the 2025 tax rate at 4.23059 of evaluation. We need to do this vote as a roll call vote. We will
So just to clarify, VAR,
voter approval.
Right.
Is it a voter approval, approved rate?
so if
Correct.
we adopt that rate, it would have to go to the voters for them to approve eventually.
No, we are not going above the VAR. We are meeting the VAR for a ceiling to start discussion on our budget for the 2026.
Okay.
So this is setting the ceiling for us to have a debate on September 9th.
Okay.
Are we all clear on that?
Yes.
We'll do a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner 1, 2, 3, and 4. Commissioner Nettles.
I vote in favor.
Commissioner Condra.
I vote in favor of that as a ceiling.
Okay,
Commissioner
here comes Ed.
Brown.
Wait, here comes Ed. What do we do? What do we do?
Oh, second.
oh,
sorry.
Second the motion.
We need a motion
Thank you.
to move the proposed 25 tax rate as 4.23059 evaluation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Commissioner Nettles.
I vote in favor of that as a ceiling tax rate.
Commissioner Condrela.
I voted in favor of that as a ceiling to work from.
Commissioner Brown.
I vote in favor of that only as a ceiling.
Commissioner Watson.
I voted for that as a ceiling.
I vote in favor. Oh,
Can you repeat that tax rate again, please, sir?
I move to propose the 2025 tax rate of 0.423059. 0.423059.
Yeah. 0.42. Okay.
I vote in favor as well. There being all in favor, the motion carries. Second vote, move to establish a date and time for the public hearing fiscal year 2026 proposed budget on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m., followed by the tax rate at 9:15 a.m. in the Commissioners Court Room, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106, Bryan, Texas. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second.
Who was the motion?
Fred.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. It was the court's intention to take a recess, but due to the fact that we have visitors on agenda item number 7, we will take up agenda item number 7 and then have a short recess and convene again. So agenda item number 7, order 25-025, adopting the tax rate of 6% for the local provider participation fund for the fiscal year 2026, approving payment for the administrative costs of the Brazos County and designated Truist Bank as the LPPF
So moved.
depository. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. We will take a 5-minute recess and be back at 11:05.
Oh, I was intending to talk to Eric.
It is now 11:08, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court will reconvene after a short recess. We are now on agenda item number 8, approval of the following appointment and reappointments to the Brazos County Child Welfare Board. Term of appointment is August 31st, 2025 to August 31st, 2028. Appointment, Andrea Garrett. Reappointment, Jackie Flagg, James Henry, and Jackie Perez.
Move to approve A through D.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion?
I want to thank them for serving on that board. That's a very difficult board to serve on, and appreciate those that are being reappointed, wishing to be reappointed, and wish Andrea Garrett the best.
Commissioners, any other comments? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 9, approval of the Brazos County Clerk's Records Management and Archival Plan to collect a $10 fee for non-court filings.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brown.
On page 2 of our packet, where it says official annual revenue estimate, that should be $33,000 and not $36,000. So just for the record.
She not?
Commissioner Watson?
No, I was just looking to see if Karen was here.
It shows 36,000
Recognizes
filings.
Ashley.
Ashley, it
County
shows
Clerk's Office.
It shows 36,000 filings annually.
On page 2, raising the $10 fee for non-court filings.
Yeah.
It's listed as 36,000 for revenue from that generated, and Commissioner Brown is saying it's actually 33. He's just making that sounds like a typo.
Was there a typo or
Fix it.
clerical error or not?
I don't see the 36 or the 33 on there for number 9.
Nope,
Well, it shows total.
Sorry. The court recognizes Karen McQueen.
Why did I even bring this up?
I'm sorry. What's the question? I'm sorry?
Under the total filings, it should be 33,000 and not 36,000. If you had 31,000 plus 1,500 plus 500, that's 33,000 and not.
Oh, that must have been my typo.
Yeah, I thought that was
So-
UT math or something. And,
No, no.
Okay, I just want to clarify that for.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
sorry. That's,
the actual number is 33,000?
without checking it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, that's what
Well,
it adds up
the
to.
number of filings go up and down every year. We just average.
So that's not a final, that's just a
No,
guesstimate, so to
that's
speak?
just a guesstimate.
It is an estimate.
Like I said in the public hearing, if the tax rate goes down, I mean, the tax rate, we're on tax
Oh,
rate.
God, believe me.
Yeah, we're past that.
As the rate goes down, filings go up, and then the interest rate goes up, filings go down. So it's just a guesstimate on past years.
Okay, but since we're reading into the record, I guess we have to
Yes.
kind of have
Yeah.
what's on
And-
here for now.
And I explained it during the public hearing, but
Right.
it fluctuates
Right.
depending on the filings.
All right, thank
So
you.
Thank you.
that's just
Karen,
kind of
Ashley,
average.
thank you. Are there any other questions
Well,
from the court?
Fred, I was going to correct a misspelling, but I'm not now. I'm
Oh,
just gonna roll.
You know.
It's fine.
well, this is the
Everything's
same
fine.
plan we've been presenting since 2001, so if there's a typo, let me know.
No, just joking.
Okay.
Karen, thank you so very much. Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No.
There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 10, approval requested for authorization to wire transfer up to 11 million and change to the Health and Human Services Commission for uncompensated care demonstration year 14 for the benefit and participating hospitals using funding from the Brazos Local Provider Participation Fund.
Move for approval.
We have
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Watts, second from Commissioner Collins. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 11, approval request for the county attorney's office to apply for the Senate Bill 22 Rural Law Enforcement Salary Assistant Grant for fiscal year 2026.
Move for approval.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. We do have public comment before discussion on the court. The court recognizes Cindy Wiley. Ms. Wiley, please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Cindy Wiley, Precinct 1. I just have a quick comment, and this is also a piggyback on to last week's when we're talking about grants for prosecutor's office or for juvenile department. No mention was made of using paralegals to do a lot of the background research to kind of free up the attorney's time to maybe help out. So I just wanted to say that out loud.
Ms. Wiley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any comments on agenda item any discussion on agenda item number 11?
Now, this is a state grant funded by state dollars, which we pay over to the state of Texas. I'm always in favor of bringing money back here to Brazos County from the state.
Commissioner Watson?
No comments, I'm
agreement?
good.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 12, approval requested from Juvenile Department to accept grant funds from the Texas Juvenile Justice Department in the amount of $5,000 to be used for the juvenile PREA audit.
Move for approval.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 13, approval to purchase fiscal year 26 Brazos County vehicles and fiscal year 25.
Judge, I move that we table this issue. Let me tell you the reason why. I went, being a car guy, I really researched this stuff, and
I'd like to second that motion.
thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table. Discussion.
I didn't have-
Recognize Commissioner Brown.
I didn't have any problem with the sheriff's department for what their needs were. Where I had the problem was for road and bridge, and I went on the regular Chevrolet side, the retail side that they charge everybody if you go on their site and build a vehicle. And if we go to work trucks on all these trucks that they ask for, we can save a considerable amount of money on each one of the trucks. So that's why I'd like to table this and have them go back and get actual prices from Caldwell Country, Avery, Knapp, on work trucks for road and bridge.
Fred, you're referring to like the equipment package on the truck?
Is that the one with the stereo, Bluetooth, and
The work truck is
Like
just the
basic-
the basic
Yeah,
truck.
that's what I meant, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I third.
The Commissioners Court calls Charles Wendt for some information. Mr. Wendt, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. We're happy to go get with the Fleet Department. They help provide the specifications for each of the vehicles. We're happy to get with them and see. I don't know if there's a rationale behind some of the equipment packages. Some of them pull trailers and had to have the integrated trailer braking. I don't know for sure if that's included in the WT package or not, but we're happy to get with them and explore options, and we'll bring that back to the court.
That'd be great. I know that if you get some things like the towing assistance, that's going to automatically upgrade you, then you're going to get all these other things. But boy, if there's a way to get just what we need.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles, I'm looking at one here, just for an example, a work truck, $41,445 list, and our special price is $41,290. So there's room for improvement on all of these if we stick with work trucks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any further questions for Mr. Wendt? There are none. Thank you, Mr. Wendt. Agenda item number
so we had a motion.
No, I'm fixing to say that. Agenda item 13, we have a motion to table and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it.
Abstain,
Oh,
because I don't know.
For the record,
I don't know.
Commissioner Watson abstained from the vote.
I don't know. I'm not a
Now
car
moving to agenda item number 14, approval of amendment number 3 to the purchasing policy, amending the threshold for formal solicitations from $50,000 to $100,000 to align with Senate Bill 1173 and to the proportionate increase in the quote threshold from $2,500 to $5,000. A change was also included to add lead time requirements for contracts and renewals for court approval. This amendment would become effective September 1st, 2025.
Move for approval.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
So this is a statutory change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct, effective September 1st, 2025.
Senate bill.
Love how the state of Texas tells us how to do our business in the county.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 15, approval of the participating agency agreement between Brazos County Emergency Management and Capital Area of Texas Regional Advisory Council, Healthcare Preparedness Program, and authorization of Acting County Judge Kyle Cassell to sign the agreement.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So I did have a question. What,
The Commissioner Court
Jason.
calls Jason Ware to the podium. Mr. Ware, thank you for being here today. Take your time. You're good.
I know your normal crowd is not here
Thank
to
you.
support you, but.
That's okay. They were here earlier, and that's okay. Jason
So
Ware.
the question I had is, what benefit does the county get out of entering into this agreement?
Okay, so Jason Ware, Emergency Management Coordinator for Brazos County. First off, I'd like to say that this has no money, no monetary effect on the county budget whatsoever. What this does is it does allow emergency management a voice at the table when it comes to planning for any kind of pandemic, any kind of mass casualty situation should something happen. So this is a program that brings all the hospitals, all the EMS programs, emergency management, so it's kind of a everything okay? It brings everybody together to the table for planning purposes, and what this also does is it allows us to have a vehicle if for some reason we have needs, like during COVID when we needed personal protective equipment such as masks or hand sanitizer or something. It provides a vehicle to receive resources in the time of needs through CATRAC. If we were to have, or if and when we have that need later on. So basically what this agreement does is it allows emergency management to have that voice at the table with CATRAC and all the participating entities with this agreement. And I will say that of all the counties within our COG, Brazos County and Burleson County are the last ones to finalize the agreement. Everybody else has already done it and have a seat at the table. You know, so it does open us up to the possibility of getting some resources later on down the road if we were to need it, but it does take a proactive approach to regional planning on the hospital side.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 16, approval of amendment to contract number 23-087 SHI Microsoft Enterprises, adding a license for a new employee in project management.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 17, approval of amendment number 1 to contract 25-014 Independent Auditor Services for Brazos County with Ingram, Wallace and Company, exercising the final renewal option.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Item number 18, approval of contract 25-153 with U.S. Bank for a new credit card program.
I move approval.
Commissioner Brown?
Second.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Yes, sir.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioner Brown, would you like to say something?
Well, yes.
No, I don't think Fred really has any strong feelings on these things.
Well, I'd like to thank Charles and his staff for all the hard work on putting this together, and the fact that we're no longer going to have Diners Club as the credit card for our county. So, Charles, thank you for all your hard work on this and making this happen.
Truly are Mr. Wonderful. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Nope.
Sorry, I just had a comment. Is that it's not just lack of diners clubs. It is a program that's more advantageous for the county with rebates and that sort of thing. So it's
Yeah.
not just name of a card or an old card. It's fiscally a better program for the county.
Yeah, it pays the county back.
Right.
Depending on how much is charged over a period of whatever the period is.
And thank y'all for doing the legwork on that. I know it takes, commissioners will say do that, and it's not like you're going to have it the next week. It takes a little while, so thank y'all for doing quick work. It was a few weeks, several weeks, but that's pretty quick for what y'all had to do.
Apologies. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 19, approval for the following juvenile contracts.
Move for approval A through D.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. We will be moving agenda item number 20 to the end of the agenda. Moving to agenda item number 21, award of RFP CIP 25-571 compensation and benefits study. Recommended award, the Siegel Company, Western States, Inc., DAB Siegel. Is there a motion?
I want to say move approval.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second for discussion.
There's a motion and a second. We do have, citizen input on agenda item number 21. The court now calls Kathy Veens.
Kathy Vians, Precinct 4. In your discussions on this topic and your investigations regarding this issue, I'm wondering if any of you asked the question of how it pertains to or relates to the budget amendments that are in the agenda today, specifically pages 13 and 14, that have an expenditure of $285,000 for human resources. I think the explanation for that reads, reallocation of funds to the proper account compensation and benefits study, and I'm wondering how that relates to this agenda item, and if you could explain that. So am I to take that nobody's asked that question, or you don't know the answer to that yourselves?
Kind of.
I'm trying to think how to answer this correctly. Yes, we are aware of the budget constraints and the line item, but we work very closely with our budget department, Ms. Payne and her staff. We also are working on this agenda item as compensation benefit study that we are trying to fix our group and step.
Right.
That does not allow us to compensate our employees fairly. So Ms. Payne is ready to come answer your question specifically.
Okay, let me ask one more.
Please do.
Part to that. So are we, is this suggestion, it's $400 and some $1,000, that's to pay somebody to do a study to tell us how much more we need to pay our employees?
Not how much more we need to pay, how to accurately pay our employees fairly across the board.
So that will be an increase. I'm sure it won't be a decrease.
That is
Well,
yet
it's
to be
al-
determined.
It's also to look at what their job descriptions are to make sure we're properly capturing what they're doing. And my hope would be that we actually would reduce the number of employees. We're carrying people on our books that we don't have good descriptions of what they're doing, and they're ghosts. They're not real employees. So this compensation study, as I understand it, would help us do a couple of things, and that's not your question, your original question, but this question was, I struggle with, there are 4 ways to deal with employee compensation. One is a COLA, the second's a merit, the third's a hybrid of merit COLA, and the fourth is, we can't do anything for you this year, we're just trying to keep your job. So we have not done the merit or the merit COLA hybrid because of challenges that this study should help us fix.
Exactly.
And-
I think most people would like to see merit-based, performance recognized. This study will help us with that. And if number of employees could be affected, with job descriptions, I would think, again, I'll second what Commissioner Nettles said. I would like to see if you have potentially too many folks, when you're looking at job descriptions, you have too many people doing one thing, maybe that needs to be lessened. If people aren't being paid enough, maybe they need to be compensated. If they're being too much, maybe they need to be frozen. But the idea that this is just gonna be a big pay increase for everyone is the opposite of what I wanna see. I wanna see merit-based employee,
Compensation?
compensation and, I'm blanking, Kathy, on that.
Reward?
Analysis, thank you, analysis of what that job is and their performance.
But I
Okay.
believe,
Yeah, but they're two separate issues, which you
Yeah.
asked about with the budget amendment versus this.
Yes.
Two separate issues. So the
Yes.
budget amendment is, like we said, working on the STEP and compensation program we currently have. The item number 21 is looking at, I think, getting a grip on descriptions, what people are paid, how many people are doing those descriptions. You know, it's and so those are two separate things as I see it.
Okay, so the $285,000 in the budget amendment, page 13 and 14 is money going out to, for
Yeah, Ms.
COLA?
Payne can answer that
Sorry,
directly.
I got
Before she
confused now.
answers that, what, I think I'd kind of disagree, maybe it's just the way he phrased it. I don't know that we have ghosts of people that are working. What I think I see is that people, the current system that we have does not allow for the right title for the position and in terms of what the scope of the job is. And I think that this study and this reorganization of HR and how they employ people and the career ladder opportunities will then, I believe we have people that are doing jobs, they're just not the title of the job, you know, how it's labeled. You know, if you've got a clerk 3 that's doing something that maybe should be called something else, this study will allow us to properly look at the jobs, look at the career ladders and the needs of each respective department, and then be able to title the job as an administrative assistant or a staff assistant or whatever the job is that the person is doing, because we don't have a wide enough range of job titles. So I think people are mistitled. I don't think necessarily that we may have too many people. You know, in some departments, they don't have enough. And so I think this study will allow them to do that. As they said, we'll be able to give them the correct title, have career ladders, we'll be able to pay them what they're needed, and then if we look at whether we do merits or just salary increases or COLAs or whatever, it will allow us to properly label people to account for education, to account for years of service. None of that is built into the current system that we have.
Okay.
And I think it's unfair to the employees that we don't have that system, and it also makes it difficult for us to hire qualified people because we don't have the kind of structure that allows us to acknowledge that we have this potential phenomenal employee that we can pay X salary and be competitive with our other local entities.
Do you anticipate that to then result in a combination of both merit and COLA?
I don't know in terms of
Hard to
salary,
say.
because right now we're just trying to get the title set where we think that it's a fair salary when we hire these people, and then over time, you know, it's kind of like in my other life, you had these multiple salaries, and then, you know, of course you had merits, but you didn't necessarily get cost of livings.
This compensation study will allow us to compensate our employees
Right.
with the budget constraints we will continue to have from the state and our appraisal district.
Yeah, and I may have misspoke when I said ghost employees. What I mean is you have
I know
people
what you mean.
that are doing a job that they're not being recognized. I mean, they're acting
Right.
as supervisor, being carried as a specialist 3,
Right,
you know? And so how do you correlate their job with what they're actually doing?
right.
And I
that's
think
what I'm
that's a
saying.
challenge.
And Kathy, what we discovered in the workshops was that our group of STEP has hobbled us to where we can't take care of our people.
Yeah, I remember that conversation happening, yeah.
With the constraints we will be working on going forward this day, this is integral, and we must get this
Right.
compensation study to move forward.
So the study
to have
comes
a
first.
clear,
Right.
clean,
Okay.
transparent budget.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good question, though. And to the mention of ghost employees, I'm not sure that Mr. Wonderful is not among the undead. So,
We have one more citizen input. That would be Cindy Wiley. Cindy, please state your name and precinct you reside in.
Morning again, Cindy
morning.
Whaley, Precinct 1. I have a question that really surfaced when you guys were talking to Kathy. So I'm assuming that you guys are anticipating that there's going to be a savings down the line for the county by getting the structure and by assessing the payment for
I
the
would say
salaries
that's
of
unknown,
people?
but it's, Commissioner Nettle said it well. He's hopeful.
Okay.
And I would say that most of us are as well.
Okay.
That's my hope. A year ago, when you were here, we were discussing compensations. I was saying I would like to see us go away, be more merit-based. And
Yeah.
I think if you're more merit-based, my hope is that jobs being done well because of merit is being considered heavily means you don't have to have as many people doing jobs. And
Right.
looking at efficiencies in job titles might also decrease the number of people you have in some areas. It may call for more in others. It's why it's hard to say right now, but I think your hopes and mine and Commissioner Nettles, I hate to speak for everybody, but we're probably all on the same page as far as what we'd like to see.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Right, that's the
I'm
point,
with
yeah.
you 100%.
That's the point of the study. We have so many unknowns that we need to look at
Yeah.
and then try to correct in a way that can be beneficial not only to the county and the county budget, but also to the employees.
Great discussion. I just have a concern on the agreement that the jurisdiction for any disagreements, arbitration, mediation is guided under the state of New York. I don't think that's a good place for us to have to litigate concerns we have on performance of this agreement. And then I just had a question on the professional fees are $435,000. And then what I assume is the additional monies will come from invoices, payments, and expenses. And those are unknown at this time? Or do you guys have an idea of what those might actually turn out to be? Some are going to be retainer quarterly in advance and hourly time charges monthly in arrears. So is this 435? This 435 is going to be a larger amount when it comes to the invoicing, right? Is that my assumption, or?
That's right, Nina, that would be the lion's share
Okay.
of the.
The professional fees will be the lion's share? Right, and then
That's how
those
I
other
read it,
things?
yeah.
Okay, and you guys will be voting on that? Will we see that coming through, the payments of claims?
I would assume yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that'll
Thank
be in
you.
your regular,
Absolutely.
that'll be in your regular agenda, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Ms. Wiley, thank you. Ms. Payne, did you want to say anything, or we're good? Okay. Court calls Ms. Nina Payne.
I will speak only on this agenda item, not the budget amendment, but on the agenda item, it states that there's $150,000 budgeted. We did not know what the contract was going to come in at, and so that's where additional money is needed. But this is regarding the contract, not the budget amendment. Okay.
Commissioners, any further? Oh, Mr. Went. Thank you.
I
for
apologize.
clarity.
I apologize for interrupting. The clause that she mentions, we struck that clause regarding the arbitration and the venue. That was supposed to be corrected, and so we will get that corrected prior to, and get that to the
So
judge.
the state of New York will not have anything to do with this?
No, sir.
Thank you.
No, sir. I don't have a passport
That
to
was a
get
very
there.
quick response, Mr. Wonderful. Thank you.
Ghostly timing.
Commissioners, any further discussion on the agenda item number 21 as stated?
No.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda.
HR Director.
Commissioners Court recognizes Jennifer.
Jennifer Salazar, HR Director. Just wanted to say something now that y'all have taken your vote. I want to say thank you, Judge and Commissioners, for approving this important study. By taking this step, you're making a tremendous statement about the value you place on our employees and the work that they do to serve Brazos County every day. At the same time, this decision reflects a balanced and responsible approach to taxpayer funds, investing wisely in a one-time project that will provide lasting benefits. Your support demonstrates both care for our workforce and stewardship of county resources. We're truly grateful for your leadership in moving this forward, and we look forward to bringing back results that will strengthen fairness, competitiveness, and stability across the organization for years to come.
Jennifer, thank you for those comments. We have a motion second. Did we vote? We voted. I think we voted. And agenda item 22 was approved, and she was very thankful.
21.
21. We are now moving to agenda item number 22, approval of contract 25-598 with Freeze Nichols Incorporated for Brazos County subdivision regulations and approval of exempting this contract from competitive bidding.
Move to approve.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. We do have public comment. The court calls Beverly Greenwood. Ms. Greenwood, please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Good morning, Beverly Greenwood, Precinct 2. Kyle and I are very familiar with non-compete contracts. We're involved in quite a few. We're defense contractors and supplied products to the military through OIF and OEF. So I understand the implication of a non-compete. A few things that I'm concerned about with this. The stated analysis of subdivision regulations, it says that it was completed. I did not see that document attached to the agenda, but the one that I did find on the internet says draft, and it was from October. Before implementing the recommendations, it would behoove the county to discuss this publicly with the constituents and the developers. I didn't see the original contract attached to the agenda either, so did they complete the report that this contract allowed for? Is there a completed report somewhere? And what did we pay for that report? In addition, the implementation of the recommendation, is that a different price than the creation of the report itself? Because it seems that this is an implementation of the findings of the report. The reference scope of work was also not attached to the agenda. And it says that the approval of this project is imperative, so I think we need to know what the project is. So before we allow a non-compete for a scope of work we, the public, haven't seen based on subdivision regulations that are stated to be complete, and we, the public, haven't seen those regulations, can we get full transparency on this 33-page document and what it contains? So I have an objection to the lack of information, and I ask that you table this item until we can see the report, we understand clearly what's being asked, what the scope of work is that is defined in this agenda item.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Before Mr. Went comes up so eagerly, this is a continuation that these documents should be out there for us to look at, but this is an ongoing project. We will have workshops with our developers and everybody to make sure we come current. There is a representative from Freeze Nichols here. Mr. Witt is leaving, but I will let him answer specifics. And Ms. Partha, but this is becoming current with our subdivision as there seems to be some development happening in the community.
It's an intense document.
We need this document in place to move forward. And this is a continuation of
All right.
a.
Thank you.
Am I correct? Who am I calling
judges-
first? I will call Mr. Went.
There were numerous meetings with developers and
Correct.
citizens leading up to this point. This has not been developed in a vacuum.
And they will continue to happen as we go through this process. Mr. Went,
And there was a public presentation of the analysis when that was completed to the Commissioners Court.
do
So
we have that date?
I don't have it with me. I apologize. I was not
Approximate?
prepared for that.
Was it this year or it was in 2024?
And on another note, the scope of work is attached to what I'm looking at, the publicly available agenda. It follows the signature page of the contract, so I apologize.
I'm sorry, I just didn't see it.
Prathana?
Prathana Banerjee, Brazos County Engineer. Like Charles just mentioned, in October of 2024, there were public presentations, the diagnostic report that Freeze Nichols created. There were two public workshops with the court present, with the public and the developers present. And like Judge mentioned, this is a continuation of the process that was kind of left off at the diagnostic report level, is basically taking that, the findings of the diagnostic report, taking it further and, completing the update of the regulations and, making it up to standard with legislation and the, everything that's gone by and changed in the past a decade, essentially. So.
Thank you.
Charles, can I ask you a question? I called you yesterday because all these flags went up when it said exempting the contract from competitive bidding. That's
Yes, sir.
always gets my attention.
Certainly.
Would you give the explanation to the public that you gave me yesterday?
The one I
concerning
gave
that?
yesterday was probably way better than what I'll do today.
Okay.
I just want to caveat it with that. So purchasing, since since we joined purchasing, we have done we have tried to implement the solicitation of many different things, and that has not ceased. In this particular case, as Freeze and Nichols had already performed the prior work, they were very knowledgeable about the workings of the county and going through and doing the analysis previously. Then we thought and agreed with Road and Bridge that there were efficiencies to be gained by them continuing to finish out this project. And for that reason, then I think that it was beneficial for the county, both the expenditure of funds and the expenditure of county resources, the Road and Bridge folks' time, to continue on with that in that manner.
Good,
Well,
thank you.
part of this, my understand, was driven by some court decisions and statute changes by the legislature, because with the cities not being able to expand their boundaries,
Yes, sir.
people are developing out in the ETJ and in the county. Recently, you can opt out of the ETJ of the county, which means that unless the county adopts subdivision restrictions, there are none. There's no guidance, and we simply approve the plat. So this gives us more control and the ability to make sure they are building things in the county outside of the city limits that are not, we're not going to have to go spend taxpayer dollars to clean the roads, fix the roads, et cetera.
Or address
Drainage.
that was made inefficient or messed up the natural flow of water, any number of things because we didn't have regs.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's beneficial to the county, but also to the citizens, the developers, even the inadvertent person that buys a piece of property and tries to build a home that's not a developer. They may not know what evils or bad things that could happen inadvertently. So.
Charles, thank you. Ms. Greenwood, does this answer most of your concerns?
It does, and I, as being familiar with non-compete, I understand it, and I fully understand that, and I appreciate your answer about that. Could we see the final, because
Yes, and I
there is
think it will be a
nowhere I can find-
continuation. There will be other workshops, and we look forward to your participation.
Okay,
This is
thank you.
not the final.
Thanks.
Prathana?
I think she's referring to the draft diagnostic report, and we will update that link with the final diagnostic report. I think, is that what you're looking for? Yeah,
Much
we will
appreciated.
get that, for her. Yeah, no
Perfect.
problem. We'll update the link on the website.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. So if we move back to agenda item number 22, we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. Any further discussion, commissioners? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 23, approval of agreement 26-051, medical and health services for Brazos County with Dr. Joel Richards, AKA Doc Healthcare.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 24, consider and take action on the Frontier Communications utility permit to construct road bores within the right-of-ways of the following county roads in Precinct 1.
Move to approve A through I.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 25. Bless you. Consider and take actions on the Brazos Wi-Fi utility permit to construct 4 road bores under Roans Chapel Road for internet services. Sites are located in Precinct 3. Commissioner Brown.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'm just glad Fred finally got some road bores. I know it's lonely.
Thank you,
We
Commissioner
waited a
Conlon.
long time.
Being a motion to second, all those in favor, agenda item number 25, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, the ayes have it. Agenda item number 26, approval of the final plat of Oak Hill subdivision lots 22R and 23R being a replat of lots 21, 22, and 23, 11.56 acres, Stephen Jones League Survey, abstract 27, City of College Station, ETJ, Brazos County, Texas. Site is located in Precinct 4. Request was previously tabled during Commissioners Court meeting held June 17, 2025, and on July 29, 2025.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
We have a speaker.
And we have a
Mrs.
speaker.
Baxter.
So the court now calls Sandra Baxter. Sandra, please Ms. Baxter, please state your name and the precinct you live in.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sandra Baxter, and I'm a resident of Brazos County Precinct 4, a member of the Oak Hill Subdivision Architectural Control Committee, and the property owner at 9121 Lightsey Lane, Lot 24, and the life trust owner of 9159 Lightsey Lane, Lot 25. The property is adjacent to Lot 23, which is the subject of today's request for replat. Beginning in April of 2025, when our subdivision members discovered the clearing of Lot 23, the property owners of our community have sought to protect the deed restrictions of the Oak Hill subdivision. We came before this court on June 3rd, when the first request for replat was on the agenda, and the outcome was denied. On June 17th, a second request for replat was on the court agenda, and the outcome of this one was tabled to allow time to have the community meet with Mr. Wall of Wall BCS to learn of his exact plans for the use of the land. And on July 28th, Mr. Wall requested the placement of the replat on the agenda after the 29th, which led to a second tabling of the request on July 29th. The outcome again was that it was tabled to allow time to finalize an agreement between the Oak Hill subdivision and Mr. Wall. These decisions by your court allowed our community to meet with J.C. Wall of Wall BCS for us to hear his plans for the property, to have our needs and concerns heard by Mr. Wall, to receive a proposed amended subdivision agreement, to negotiate the details of that agreement until the wishes of both parties were outlined, and for community to vote on an agreement which has now been executed. So why am I here today? I'm here to say thank you for hearing the requests of our community, for giving us the gift of time and opportunity by denying and tabling the replat requests until our property owners and Mr. Wall could come to an agreement over the use of Lot 23 in our subdivision while keeping our deed restrictions intact. We thank you for supporting us so that the replat process, which is otherwise immune to the wishes of a or our neighborhood, could be altered, allowing the residents to play a part in the process before decisions could be made on its behalf. For future replat requests conducted in Brazos County, please consider modifying the plat application form, checklist, and process to include notification, input, and approval by subdivision homeowner associations or architectural control committees. Thank you. We now approve of today's replat request under the agreement outlined in the Oak Hill subdivision agreement signed on August 12th and submitted to you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Baxter, thank you so much for being here today. Commissioners?
Judge.
Commissioner Conroy?
I just wanted to compliment Mrs. Baxter and the member HOA for working with the developer and coming to that conclusion. I also would love to see developers look at this situation as, perhaps it could have been a lot easier had he worked with the HOA in the very beginning.
Right.
And we would have, this is tabled, shut down multiple times. This thing's been up before the court a few times. So on the one hand, again, great job working with the developer. And on the other hand, look at, perhaps how much time could have been saved if we would have, as a development, the developer could have perhaps spoken with these people in the beginning and avoided, all this. So.
Well, and of course, currently, if they do everything to meet our subdivision requirements, the court has no leeway but to approve that. So maybe as we develop these additional subdivision requirements, regulations, that we consider some recommendation to work with the community.
Well said, Commissioner Nettles. Mr. Watson?
Well, same thing. I totally agree, and it's so hard to sometimes to bring communities together for everybody to know, because even if you do it's kind of like, even if you have what you think is a process in place, there's always going to be an outlier. The people who don't read, don't do the research, don't seek out the information, and then you kind of sort of get, I didn't know kind of a thing. It doesn't, we're going to put forth the effort. Thank you for that, thanking us, because I know that was a tough one, since it's in my precinct that we had to table it as many times as we had to table it, and I'm glad you all were able to come to an agreeable resolution of this matter. But it would be great if with all of the new subdivisions and all of the groups could come together when there is an issue, but people would seek out the information on how to properly do stuff. Obviously, we will try to do what we can to provide that information. I know that Road and Bridge will do all that they can. When someone comes to them, maybe that'll be something they'll add to it. Have you talked to your association or your home group or whatever it is, so that, you know, everybody is aware of what's going on and you all can work together to resolve your issues.
Thank you, Commissioner Watson. Any further discussion? We have a motion and a second, correct?
Yes.
All those in favor of agenda item number 26? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 27, approval of the final plat of Sandy Meadow, Track 1 and Track 2, Stephen A. Austin Survey A-62, Brazos County, Texas. Site is located in Precinct 4.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, Commissioners? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 28, approval of the Treasurer's Report for June 2025 and a quarter ending of June 30th, 2025.
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 29, tax refund applications for the following.
Move for approval A.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 30, budget amendments. Fiscal 24-25 budget amendments 43.01, 4307.
Move approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 31, personnel change of status. Approval of personnel change of status.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 32, payment of claims.
Move for approval A and B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. We will jump over agenda item number 33. Move to agenda item number 35, acknowledgement of the fiscal year 2024-25 budget to actuals by fund as of August 20th, 2025. Acknowledgement of the fiscal year 24-25 contingency budget to actuals by fund as of August 20th, 2025. Agenda item number 36, acknowledgement of monthly reports submitted in August of 2025. And now on agenda item number 37, the Juvenile Director's Report on Detention and Population. Linda.
Good morning, Judge and
Good morning.
Commissioners. We have 22 juveniles in detention, 18 males, 4 females, and we have 27 on electronic monitor.
Linda, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Agenda item number 38, the Sheriff's Report on Inmate Population. Sheriff Wayne Dickey, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. 760 this morning.
16?
760.
760.
Yeah, I was looking
Okay.
down, I'm sorry. 760, 653 men, 107 women, and 44 on monitors.
Thank you. Any questions for Sheriff today? Thank you for all your team does. 39, announcements of interest and items and possible future agenda topics. Fiscal year 2026 proposed budget will be filed with the county clerk and county auditor. Once filed, it will be posted to the Brazos County website. Commissioner Court members will be attending the Texas Association of Counties Legislative Conference in conference in Austin, Texas on August 27th through the 29th, 2025. Commissioners, are there any other announcements of interest?
My margins came back. They got everything they needed to get, so I'm clean, but I would beg everyone to please get your skin looked at by a professional, especially if you played around in the sun and got burnt a lot as a kid like I did. And then I've got multiple siblings as a result of myself getting looked at that are getting looked at as well, and one undergoing skin cancer surgery as a result this week. Keep Patricia in your prayers, but please, just as we all grew up, the way we grew up, especially if you're my age or older, get yourself looked at by a professional. Make sure your skin is clear.
See your dermatologist. Is that the message?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And we're grateful of the good news that you received.
Amen.
Commissioners, any other announcements before we go?
Jason has one, I think.
Well, Mr.
Is a
Ware,
burning desire.
we would love to have your announcement of interest.
A short one.
It'll be very short, sir. Judge Commissioners, Jason Ware, Emergency Management Coordinator for Brazos County. Last week, the governor passed a proclamation in reference to drought, so I wanted to raise that awareness to you. Right now, we're still okay. Our county average is at 551 on the drought index, but we are starting to creep up. The reason I'm here is I'm hoping that if I bring this awareness to y'all today, that we will get some rain over the next week. Wildfires are relatively slow right now, but we have started to see an increase over the last couple weeks with a couple. But right now we're within the 500 to 600 range countywide, with a couple of spots over that 600 mark. So my recommendation is if you're going to do any outdoor burning over the next several days, pay attention to it, report it to the non-emergency number to the dispatch center, but definitely pay attention to it.
So at current time, we are not in a burn ban, correct?
No burn ban currently. Madison County is the only burn ban currently in the region as a whole. Madison County is under a burn ban.
But we should act like we are.
But definitely pay attention to it and hope for some rain. We do have forecast of rain over the next 3 days, so pay attention.
Mr. Ware, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Jason Ware? Once again, we are about to move toward executive session, but I want to recall that we do have agenda item 20 that we will take up when we return from executive session. So moving to agenda item number 33, convene into executive session pursuant to the following: A, B, C, and D.
And Judge, in regard to item A, I have submitted my letter pursuant to the statute that my written determination that deliberation in open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the Commissioners Court negotiations with the third party, and ask y'all unanimously vote to go into executive session to discuss that contract.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it. In executive session today, for executive session A, the court will need Aubrey, Bruce, Ed, Trevor, Charles, Nina, and Marcy. Executive session B and C, the Commissioners Court will need Aubrey, Bruce, Ed, Jennifer, and Rihanna. In executive session D, Commissioners Court will need Aubrey, Bruce, Ed, Jennifer, Rihanna, and Barbara. It is now 12 noon on the dot, and the Brazos County C? I said B and C. I'm sorry. So executive session B and C, Aubrey, Bruce, Ed, Jennifer, and Rihanna. My apologies there. It is now 12 o'clock noon, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court will recess into executive session. Is that correct? Terminology?
Yeah. There is one called Rihanna, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and I love it when people can work together.
Congratulations.
You know. Yep.
It was refreshing to see
Okay, okay.
somebody. It was
It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be
let's get you, It is now 1:04 PM, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court is reconvening after executive session. We will return to agenda item number 20, the approval of the following amendments to their respective contracts for the addition of a fourth floor and associated expansion to the parking garage for the 101 North Avenue project. The estimated total cost of this addition is approximately $10 million. Amendment A, number 1, to contract 25560 with Plain North Architectural, and B, amendment number 1 to contract 25-563 with Spa Glass Construction.
I move to table this.
Second.
We have a motion to table and a second. Commissioners, are any discussion?
Yeah, I think we don't have enough information. We were promised a schematic of where the different departments were moving. That hasn't been provided. There's also a question of unutilized and underutilized property, square footage, not only in the adult probation building, but in this building, that hasn't been explained to my searching for the right word. Satisfaction, yeah. So those things need to be done before we obligate an additional $10 million for something that, from what I understand, may not be utilized for 15, 20 years. I don't see this any different than drawing a line over people's property where we're not going to do something for 15 and 20 years.
Commissioners, any other comments? Commissioner Brown.
And I think timing-wise, this could not be at a worse time when we're struggling with where the tax rate's going to be, but yet we want to spend $10 million on a fourth floor of a building that we're not even sure that we need a fourth floor. So that's why I'm voting against this.
You're voting against the motion to table?
No, I'm voting for the motion.
No,
to
just
table.
for clarity.
Yes, sir. I'm voting for the motion to table. Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Watson, any comments?
No, not right now.
Commissioner Condola.
I'd like to have more information as well.
It would please the court if Trevor Lansdowne, project management, would come up so I could ask one clarifying question. Trevor, thank you for coming forward.
Yes, sir.
So there's been a motion to table in a second. If we table this motion today, how does that affect our negotiations with the contract for the fourth floor?
We're at a point at the design development stage that we have given direction to the design team to press pause until this decision is made. Any further delays in this will push the design schedule, which will have a monetary impact on both firms.
Perfect. Thank you for that clarification.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nettles, is it your understanding that you want to, made a motion to table this in the need of more information in a timely manner, that we could bring this motion back to the court, or do you not wish this to come back to the court?
Well, yes, if we table something, it can always come back to the court.
Okay. Commissioners, any further discussion?
I disagree. with
Commissioner
everything.
Watson?
I disagree with the tabling of this agenda item. I think that the impact that it'll have, we've got to make, we're in the middle of the budget. I'm not sure where we would be if we table it and put it off in terms of the long-term impact of that project.
Duly noted. Any other comments from the Commissioners Court? Ms. Payne, are you moving forward? Would you like to speak or not? You don't have to. I just trying to be very attentive.
I was just going to answer Commissioner Watson's question. Is right now in the proposed budget, the $10 million is there. We have an option on the 9th for it to be removed. And so that will be our final decision, the final vote for the budget.
No. I don't want it moved.
So,
Commissioner Condon.
If the 10 million were approved today, it could be pulled off on the 9th.
It is currently in the budget.
Right.
It is currently
So
in the
we
budget.
can, if the motion is passed, if the motion is tabled today, that would shut down the contract negotiations, but the money would still be in the budget. Is that clear? Is that
Correct.
the correct
As of-
statement?
Correct. As of
Okay.
today, I'm following the proposed budget with the $10 million set aside for the fourth floor. Come on September 9th,
You would have the
I will
opportunity
have
to
a motion
remove that
to remove
from
that
the
from
budget.
the adoption process.
Now, just speaking hypothetically, looking at my timeline, we do have a Commissioners Court on the 2nd of September, correct? So if,
It's too late.
huh?
It's too late. to
That's
add it
too
to
late
next
because that infers on the 10-day rule that we
week.
talked
Well, for next Tuesday, the agenda is post, it should be, yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's too late
I just
to
want
add.
everybody to have the facts.
It's too late to add this tabled item to next Tuesday due to the new stipulations effective September 1.
Due to the legislature implementing the
Wonderful
posting rule.
legislature.
Yes, got you.
So my terrible request of Trevor, forgive me, is it possible to have more of a inventory of space in the short times that we're talking about making these major decisions?
I can 100% make myself available for those conversations. I'm willing to talk about that right now if y'all are. I don't, again, if it sounds like based on the budget calendar as well as our own constraints in the design schedule, we're left with few options outside of the action today. And
Trevor,
so-
I think it'd help a lot if we had schematics on what's going to happen to this building, but we don't have anything. All we know is there was a lot of money that was approved in the last budget cycle, and aside from that, we don't know anything.
So,
or I don't.
and I know it's been a while since we discussed it, since we discussed this remodel for our building, but just as a refresher, the HR department is moving to the second floor of the north wing. They have 7 offices in their suite that would be freed up. We have the auditor's office, which would move over to the sanctuary space. They have about 15 employees over there. We have 11. Oh, I'm sorry, 11 employees. Thank you, Marcy.
Just seemed like 15.
It does. It does. The budget office is moving over there too. They're a house of 2, but they have more positions. They have more positions, and again, we say everyone's moving. Right now, there is no space for anybody to grow when they're in their current space. I think Charles has an office, but he's got a position to put in it. And my mind escapes me, and there's one more free office in the building, and that's it. We're talking about moving some folks around, and there's nowhere to put them. The project management office would move over to the sanctuary as well. Again, there's 2 of us today. We're sharing what used to be a conference room space. I'm sure purchasing used it, budget used it. I'm sure they'd love to have that back. So that does free up space within this building. Those are the footprints of those spaces are different and difficult in nature to say that we would be able to 100% take X department from here and fit it into this. I'm not saying it won't work, but it could be a square peg, round hole situation. And so risk management, we had a plan back when this design started. They had 3 employees. And so through the design process, we built them in some additional growth. Even just since that started, they've added 2 more employees to the point where now what we were going to rework for them was going to be full when we get done. And so risk management will be capped out almost to the point where we probably need to reevaluate if we're even going to perform that work, or if they need to slide into the HR suite so that it does give them a little bit of growth in their own department. All that to say, and again, we have 0 space currently if we were to have a catastrophic situation in another building, which we've had in the past. It's common knowledge now because the postmaster went out yesterday, but we're having to shut the employee health clinic down, and the elections department isn't shutting down. They're going to continue to man their building with no air conditioning. We'd love to be able to shift them into a spare set of offices that we just don't have today. And so, again, all of the projects as a whole are here to provide us a little bit of growth. We've had this sort of an accordion effect over time where we had the space, and then we gradually filled it up. And instead of just kind of building in chunks as we go, we tend to just grow, fill, and we're in the growth phase right now. So,
Commissioners?
It's tough. We've got, 7 days ago, everything was a lot easier before we had our decrease in valuations, before Austin put us, you know, 1%. And there's legislation pending on what you can potentially offer debt toward. So to do that, to say, hey, we could potentially do something later or issue debt later, that may not even be a reality. But the costs, just so I can understand, I know we've talked about it for everybody watching at home. If you don't budget for the 4th floor today, and 5 or 10 years from now we need space and we're trying to budget, you know, if you're able to take debt for that, because you're not, with 1%, you're not going to have
Correct.
the money. If you wanted to, and you were able to budget debt for that 5 years from now, and you wanted to build more space on new construction on the ground, not a high rise, what would your per foot be? You know, would it be more expensive in 5 years as it would be to add to something you're doing now?
Trevor, I don't even want to know this.
Again, I know.
Yeah.
Without,
That's a
without a
45-minute
crystal
question.
ball to look, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it
I
starts
guess
with.
it's hypothetical. It's like you're adding to an existing project now
Correct.
versus doing it 5 years from now if you
Yes.
needed space, or 10 years from now.
Yeah, it's future construction costs, again, always more expensive. There's never been a time in our, at least that I've been alive, that construction has gotten cheaper year to year. We have the ability to add a 20,000 square foot plate to an existing building. With that, if you were to say, okay, we know we need it, let's do it. Now we've got to find 2 acres of land. Now we've got to build it from scratch. There are economies of scale built into the structure, the mechanical systems, the electrical systems, and the plumbing systems, as well as the structural components to the building, that give us the ability to do it cheaper now than to do it. Not just time, but also just straight one-for-one cost will be more expensive to do it in 5-10 years.
Okay. Commissioners, any further comments?
Call the question.
Well, I'm gonna make some clarity here, or hopefully bring clarity to the process. So procedurally, we have a motion to table. If the motion to table prevails, then we would have to take the 10 million out of the budget on the 9th, correct? If the motion to table fails, that gives us the time to get to the 9th for the schematics, the evaluation of properties, to have better knowledge, and if that still does not please the court, we could take the 10 million out of the budget at that time and have the same result. Is that correct? I like data. I like specifics. We all understand this. With that, Commissioner Brown has called the question.
So
There's a,
could
go
you
ahead.
clarify that last point you made? Your last point you made?
My last point was, if the motion to table fails and the data that Trevor and team bring to this court on properties across and numbers and the spatial allotments for the reconstruction are not sufficient to the commissioners to go ahead with the 4th floor, then we have the ability to pull the 10 million out on the 9th, make an amendment, or pull it out, and the motion to table is the same result. It doesn't happen today, it will happen on the 9th.
So
Is that
that-
clear as mud?
No, that didn't make sense to me, because we have a motion to table the agenda item.
Correct. But if it
fails, then we're going to vote on the agenda item.
That's right.
So if we vote on the agenda item, we're approving.
Well, that's why I
the
asked
10 million.
procedurally. I want to make sure we're there. So we will then make a motion to approve it, and we will have till the 9th. If it passes, then we will have to the 9th. If it fails, then we will pull the 9 million out, the 10 million out either way. So yes, there are 3
Yeah, did you
options,
have
but 2 results that give us the opportunity for time with the constraints that we're working underneath. We will clear this up real quick. Yes, ma'am.
If you make, so if the motion goes to approving the additional money for the 4th floor, you need to make a note
Another,
that do we continue to hold the engineers and the contract until the 9th, until a decision's made on the 9th?
because they're expecting news
Because
today.
they're wanting an answer,
Okay.
yes. Just get that one.
Ed Bull, please.
Thank you. And with,
We need clarity.
Subject to clarification from the general counsel, I believe if the motion gets amended to table to the 9th and passes, then you should still be good.
We adopt the budget first before that goes,
have to, so, I mean, there's certain sections that we have to follow, and so we're gonna have to rewrite, if that's the point, we're gonna table.
I'm sorry. Come forward, Ms. Payne.
Get your steps in.
We need to be very, very clear on
So
moving forward.
we will, so if this goes through the 9th, we're going to have to make it to where the agenda lines up to what we need to do, because we adopt the budget, then we ratify the tax rate. And so this item will need to be first, because if there's any changes to the adopted budget, the motions will have to be made. And so we just have to it's a play. It's a
And that
one-act
is my
play.
want right now, is complete clarity and understanding from everybody on the dais, as well as everybody in the audience and listening audience.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
So if that, I think I understand, then can I make a motion to amend my motion?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
I'm
So I
glad
would
this is being
move to
recorded.
amend my motion to table the agenda item until September 9th. Is that what?
Commissioner Brown.
I'll second that.
So we had a motion to amend and a second in the correct order, Commissioners.
Vote on the amendment.
Sorry?
We need to vote on the amendment.
So we have Amendment 20, approval of the following amendment, respective contracts of the additional fourth floor of the expansion of the estimate that calls Amendment A and B. Do we have a motion?
Right now, we're just voting on the amended motion.
The amended motion? Oh, goodness gracious.
So this means that we are not voting
We
for
are
the
taking-
expenditure of the $10 million today.
We are now voting on the amended motion.
Correct.
Correct? Simply the amended motion.
Yeah.
Which is removing a motion to the table.
That we table this agenda item until September 9th.
Good, okay.
That's what's before them.
That's what's before the, have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it.
I mean, well, no. I'm voting for the, whatever he just
The
said.
amended motion.
Yeah.
You were in the prevailing side.
Yeah.
Correct. Of a 5-0 vote on the amended motion by Commissioner Nettles. Commissioners, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your engagement through this entire budget process. As you all know, it is not over. We will see you on the 2nd and the 9th. But I can commend you on your engagement, your intelligence, and your thoughtfulness on the county and going forward. So thank you very much for your leadership. With that, it is 1:22.
I just want to clarify, we only needed one vote to be able to table this, the amended motion, until the 9th. We're clear procedurally, correct? Because we had.
Right, Ed?
Did we actually vote
Bruce?
to table?
No, we voted for the amended motion
Which is to table
Table it.
until September 9th.
until September 9th.
So we're covered as far as that goes. Thank you.
Council. Okay. It is now 1:22 and 40 seconds. The Brazos County Commissioner Court is now adjourned.